Good morning, everybody. It's Tammy coming to you live today from my office. I cannot take that glare. These are have to go up here. I know that we get that really bad glare behind us. I'm going to try to get like a little thing for this, but as y'all jump on here today, say hello and tell me where you're watching from, and drop us a grateful fed in the comments. I just kind of was not thinking about Sunday sermon. It's not been, I knew I was doing Sunday sermon today, but I really do not have any topic at all today. And I know that it will come. And my sister's actually here in the other room with me. And she was just in here. And she's like, I'm going to pop in and say hi. I've never done a Sunday sermon with you. So she's going to come in a little while and say hello. And Grateful Fed, hello, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for popping in today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you are watching out there in one of the many places that we're live today, I'm live on my personal page today. I'm live in the Hometown Hippie private group today, and I'm live on the YouTube community channel. So if you can do me a favor, wherever you're watching from, hit the like button, the heart button. If you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. I would love, if you're not following us on YouTube, for you to follow us on YouTube. We're trying to get that channel more robust because you never know with social media anymore where they're going to kick you out of. If you're watching on Facebook, if you can tag a friend, let them know we're live. This is way more fun with friends, right? And sometimes Facebook likes to hide us down in the algorithm. So the more you like and love and all the things on the video, which I'm going to go and turn my volume down and do that exact thing and share it out. Tune in. Sharing that now so that people can find it. I'm doing a like and a share and all the things so that we can find everything that we're looking for. Another little like on there. Trying to get the word out. Um, just it's just been one of those crazy, crazy, crazy days, and I'm sorry. The universe does weird things, and today is no different, right? So tune in, say hello, all the things, like, love, share, tag your friends, all the things in the comments. If you're brand new, you never found us before, you're just tuning in like, what's going on? Who are you? My name is Tammy Nelson. I am affectionately known as the Hometown Hippie, and we have a couple of food businesses, a Reiki infused bakery. We talk about plant-based medicines, and we try to help people solve their needs through more holistic ways, through energy work, through addressing maybe the dis-ease in their body. And maybe that's what today is. Hey, how are you? I'm not sure who this show is. It's just showing hey, it's not saying who. Maybe that's what today is, because my sister said, I think you should tell people today how what you did here at the shop by holding space for all the things going on really affected the day yesterday. So I was like, it's Heather Johns. Hey, Heather Johns. Maybe I should tell that story, right? So tell who we are, what we're doing, right? So we have a couple of food-based businesses. Like I said, the Hometown Hippie Elevated Edibles, which is our Reiki infused bakery, where we work with people with plant-based medicine to help make sure that they get in sleep and they're not anxious, and that they can drop their shoulders or relax their jaw. Maybe have a little of little woosah in their life, right? Without having to use a Valium or a Xanax or something like that, right? We also have a food truck, and we have a catering business. And so that's who we are if you're just finding us. And part of that for me is also sharing things out to the world so people know what we're doing. Social media is a big part of small businesses these days. And when my business started, we were during pandemic. So a lot of things, it's Melissa. Okay, watching from the ocean. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love it. That is awesome. I love watching me from the ocean. That makes me happy. Um, we This started during the pandemic, and so the way that we made connections during that time, and kind of reaching out, was through social media. So when you have a food truck these days, you got to be on Reels, you got to be on Instagram and all the things. And so we've just kind of created these lives that we do. Sunday morning, Sunday sermon is kind of my Woosah, my little message of the week, kind of kicking the week off right, setting our energy right, because again, my sister said, talk about how you held space. So explaining what that means maybe is going to make this make sense. There she is. See, she's right there. So part of what we do is we believe that love is our secret ingredient in all the foods that we make, right? So no matter what the recipe is, we know we're going to add a couple extra things, right? Some love and light, some sugar and spice and everything nice, some intentionality into our food. And during the pandemic, I was watching on TV all of these people who were, not able to work, out of jobs in the restaurant industry, right? How that was really affecting so many people in service and retail that could not go to work. I was watching people then that had food insecurity because they didn't have money because they weren't working. So they were talking about food banks and the stress on the food banks. They were talking about the supply chain demand for grocery stores, seeing all these kind of things. The whole idea of food security in our world and supply demand kind of break down. Then I'm watching on the evening news, there's farmers out in the Midwest and out in California and all these places where 2 towns over there are 6-mile lines wrapped around food banks. But because Applebee's can't open and they're not selling green beans, there's a farmer who all his green beans go to Applebee's and he's plowing them under because they're rotting on the vines because he has nowhere to take them. And to me, I was like, 1 = 2, right? Why are we not sending the people who don't have food over there to get some fresh green beans? And then it dawned on me that they don't know what to do with them or how to prepare them or cook them. And then I was very grateful to my ancestors, right? Because my nanny, and Amy will tell you who's sitting here, we have a very good understanding of where food comes from, how you save it, preserve it, and keep it through the winter, how you eat fresh year round from the bounty of your land. We have an Appalachian, Appalachian ancestry. We come from the mountains of Caucasus. They got our DNA done. We are just what we are. We're from Northern Europe, like everywhere white people live. Sorry, y'all. But she taught us all of those old school Appalachian things, how to make something out of nothing, right? And so I saw a need in our community during that to do that. And these kind of lives popped up of me kind of sharing that journey. So if you're brand new to the channel or you're brand new to our lives, if you never heard that story, that's kind of how this all popped up, of me trying to figure out ways to teach people, right? I said, if you feed people, they eat for the day. If you teach people how to forever. So we also have a hydroponic store, which you can teach you how to propagate seed and grow during the winter with indoor grows and hydroponic growing for vegetables, for your medicine, for everything. So we really wanted to make that kind of our mission, was to be your one-stop hippie shop. And so all of our, once our chefs go through their probationary period and they're ready to commit, we send them through Reiki 1. And that's why we say we spread love and light with every bite. So that's kind of the background of the business. And fast forward to now, 3 years later, we're still here doing our lives twice a week. Even though, we're not strictly on social media and just not an online store anymore, we're brick and mortar. We still feel a need to connect with our community everywhere. And we want to make sure that we're kind of giving everybody easy access to what's happening in the world around here, and maybe some love and light, not just in every bite, but also in these lives, because some people don't get to eat with us. They get to eat with us spiritually, maybe not literally. But one of the most secret ingredients is that intentionality into our food. We really hold space that the food that we feed you is to your highest and best, that it tastes delicious, that it serves your body in the way that it's meant to, that it's got just the right ingredients to give you the things that you need to nurture your body. And like I always say, we're grateful to serve. We really feel like it's a privilege to do what we do in whatever aspect that we do, whether you buy your cookies and your brownies and we ship them to your house, or your gummies, and you're talking about, hey, I'm off of 3 different medicines, I'm sleeping through the night, I actually got to go see my grandkids play because I wasn't socially anxious because I had a lollipop. Whether it be through the food truck or a wedding or a catering event, right? We just want to make sure that you know that there's so much love and intentionality put into everything that we do. You know, Leslie has been like putting some love and Hooju and all the boxes and little notes. She's been doing knock jokes with people. So if you want to play a game with Leslie when you place your order, put something fun in the comments and she'll play back with you. Like you can write a story together, you can tell jokes. We do those kind of things. Because no matter how much we grow as a community, as a community, and like Heather says, the community is helping carry her right now. Heather pours into so many people all the time. We have been sending so much love and light to Heather. Heather, we also need an address that you're okay with. People have asked for an address for you. I don't know where you're at right now, and I have several, and I know your home address. I have it, but we know that you're not at home right now, but we didn't know where it would be safe to send some things. We have some things we'd like to like, you know, people want to send cards and stuff. So if you have an address you'd like that stuff sent to your house, just let us know. But we do come together as a community. And if you are here for the first time, we encourage you to join our private group. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube. If you're local, come by and see us, because it's not just about a transactional relationship. It's also about it takes a village, and it's just about that, right? I can feed you. You can buy food. You can eat today, right? Or you can join the community, and you know, there's times when we just do meditation groups, or we do these lives and we just send out love and light. Or maybe we have like a take a penny, leave a penny day, like a tell us what's going on, like tell me something good, or feel good Friday. We're like, if you feel good, tell us about it, and that adds to the vibration. If you need a little hand up, let us know. But we're here to really pour into you in any and every way that we can, and know that we care about you. Because if we teach you to eat, if we feed you, you eat for the day. If we teach you, you eat forever. And that just doesn't mean for food. It means when you know better, you do better, right? You can heal yourself through doing the shadow work. And that's what we talk about a lot of times, like not stepping over the tree that's in your path, but picking it up, seeing why it fell, figuring it out, moving it and getting done with it. And then you can walk through life a little easier without that worry. Because if you don't do that and you just kind of walk around it, a bigger tree is going to fall. So not just about food, not just about what we can do for you from like a business transactional standpoint. We're also here to hold space for you in a love and light way to help heal your soul. Because our number one goal is to raise the collective vibration one bite at a time, one laugh at a time, one little whatever at a time. And yesterday, we again, we have grown from this online community to a brick and mortar, and several employees and several crews out really doing a lot of things yesterday. I remember the first time we had 2 events in one day. We had a wedding, and then we had a cake decorating class that we were teaching. And we were like, oh my gosh, me and Selena have to go here, and everybody else has to go here, and how are we going to do all the things? And it worked without a problem. And now we're doing 4 and 5 things in a weekend, and everybody, it's just like a fine-tuned machine, well-oiled machine, and like a little, you know, just it's like a symphony the way everything works together. And yesterday, we had staff at a couple of different places, and our teams were out doing their thing, and the most amazing day yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's talking about how much fun they had yesterday, how many connections they made with the clients, that they talked to people, that they talked about the food, that people were super happy, they were getting seconds, that just, it was exactly the thing that you want with your business, right? Not just being busy and being able to, you know, earn a living, because we're doing this for, you know, it's what it is, it's a business, but being able to make the connection with our community, that's what it's about. We may have fed them yesterday, but we know that we made connections that will go into teaching them how to eat forever, whether it be letting us do it for them, or watching some videos, or getting a cookbook, or whatever it may be. Maybe coming into a propagation of seed to learn how to like save the seeds from your heirloom tomatoes to be able to have them without having to buy seed anymore. You know that you have fresh heirloom tomatoes, or being able to clone plants to keep the, you know, propagation of your plants going, to split succulents, whatever it may be, right? um but we make connections that are going to like to start planting those seeds in the soil of what's going to become, right? And so many times in this day and age, like the story about the farmers plowing under the green beans and the people sitting in line for it, and this is maybe where this talk was going today, and I didn't realize it, that we want this instant gratification. And that's in anything, whether it be in business and love and friendship and new, you know, everybody get to a new job and like day 2, you're like, I'm not sure about it. I'm like, it is day 2. Like, give it a minute, right? Let it settle. we have been really in this world of right now, everything not having patience. And what I love is seeing the seeds being planted and the potential and knowing what's going to blossom from it. And so what's going on out there in the world for y'all today, I want you to know, even if you're not seeing the results you want to see, as far as maybe the blooms or the buds, you are seeing the potential and the amount of seeds that are being planted, right? What was it? The seeds of, hang on, look at my backpack if you don't mind, and get my Avalon deck out. There's something that came up the other day in a card reading I did.
The seeds of the past are sown. The seeds of the future.
The seeds of the future are sown in the soils of the past, right? So maybe you have think about that, right? You have to plant seed and you have to wait. The seeds are sown in the soil of the past because they're planted in the past and they don't bloom into the future. So you have to have trust and faith in that, right? And so every time I get out of flow and I get into that fear state of lack and all of that, I have to stop myself and take a breath. And this weekend, when we were out doing all the things, I said, I could have fear or I could have faith. And on Friday night, I'm going to send the mess. I'm going to go do the message. So I can share it with y'all exactly. But I really sat down. It is Amy. There is that Amy. Like it is. She's going to come say hi in a minute. Take the small steps, right? Look, there she is. There she is. Say hi to my sister.
Hi.
Take the small steps to be wealthy, healthy, and wise. Small changes turn into big life moves. Yes, that is Amy. Yes. Good morning, lady. I like my little things. Yeah, firewood up. But being able to step out of that place of fear, right, and remembering that the seeds have been planted, like and that's for me. It's like remembering that I have moving pieces and parts. I had to stay here yesterday. Everybody's like, "Hi, Amy."
Hello, everybody.
I had to remember that everyone who is a part of this team has been sown into. Those seeds have been planted. They know exactly what to do. They know how to set the truck up. I'm asking questions yesterday morning. Amy's like, Liz has got it. Liz did it. It's already done. Grace was like, done. It's already done. Tammy, Celine already got those done for you. It's already, everything was just a symphony. So, but Friday night, I was like, in my head, I did not sleep a wink Friday night, but I took and I sat down and I set some intention. And we associated me with like being Yoda and the Force, using the Force. That's why I say setting intentions and holding space. That's what we're like using as like a metaphorical indication. What do you mean by holding space? What do you mean by spreading love and light? Imagine Star Wars when I say the Force is with you, right? And you have the Force. It's like a magical force. Is what I consider it. It's like nature or the chi and life energy. So we hold space for that, and we set an intention. And that is as much as it's just as important in our ingredients as the flour, the butter, the sugar. The intention is just as important in all of those things. See, you have sown those seeds. Now you get to enjoy the bounty. I do. And ego wants me not to. Ego wants everything to fall apart when I'm not around because ego wants me to believe that it only works if I do it. That's the part that keeps you little and keeps you in your safe space. And ego, mine is a big one. My personality body is a big one. But I've been working this week, like Carly said, it's kind of the same thing, right? What you damn will damn you back. So if you don't have a good relationship with your personality body, you don't make peace with it. Like, hey, you have done a good job. I appreciate what you've done for me thus far. But let me take the lead on this one. We're going to take a deep breath and we're going to work together. And there's going to be parts that you're still going to control probably. And I'm going to just be kinder with myself when you do, but we're not going to fight each other because I get really caught up and then the ego runs crazy. And then I have to spend the next 3 weeks basically apologizing to everyone for what ego did, for what personality body did, what I did out of a place of fear, right? But that's not learning, right? Learning is continuing to do that over and over. Learning is not doing that over and over. That's just continuing to do the same bad, stupid, crazy stuff, right? That's just still making those same excuses for myself. Oh, I know why. Well, then let's do something about it. So the last couple of weeks has been spent with, the last week or so has been spent with me going, okay, right? this feeling that I'm feeling is not true. It is personality body rearing its head. So I have been able to hold space. I feel like I have a little more space to hold because I've allowed the team to do what they're supposed to be doing and do the things that I'm supposed to be doing and not stress. But Friday night, I got into a place and I said, let me set some intentions for Saturday. So what I said to the team and what we held space for on Saturday was, it's going to be a great day. We're holding space of perfect crowds, perfect pace, perfect abundance, and perfect weather for all of us to have an amazing and great day. And I love them and I thank them, and we're all going to work with attitude and kindness. And I let them know that I felt like they're the dream team because they are, right? And that's exactly what we got yesterday. And I stayed here at the shop for most of the day, and the team went to Buckingham and everything went beautifully. The team went to the brewery and everything went beautifully. We took some things over to Longwood and they loved everything we sent. We had some stuff going out today and everything was good. I said, how was everything? Grace said it worked beautifully. It was a perfect pace. The perfect pace. Everything was beautiful. It was exactly what it needed to be. People came back for seconds. They had conversations about the food. They wanted to know how they could get mom meals and take-home meals. They asked about Thanksgiving catering, all of the things. Amy, Kyle, and Liz were down at the brewery, having just a great. They had just. They said the vibes were just dead perfect down there. We were giving free cookies away to veterans. We were sharing kindness with people. We were making community connections. A lot of our customers got to see us. People who we've never met before got to find out who we were. We ran out of some things. We had some food running situations. So other people on the team got to go down and hang out with them as well. It was just an overall really great weekend. And I believe it was because we did those, like Heather just said, right? Take the small steps. What are the small steps? Number one, we believe in planning your work and working your plan. So we did that. But we also went into it with an attitude. We made the decision. I set that out. And when everybody got that, I'm going to ask Amy, you got that on Friday night?
What?
The message about the setting intention.
Yeah.
Right. So that let everybody from the jump know that we're going to get up in the morning. We're all going to have a good day and be in a good mood. Not one person came in yesterday with a bad attitude.
Oh gosh,
nobody. Nobody.
Like our
They
live
came in.
yesterday was amazing.
They came in as the dream team. And when those little micro moves, when we don't send that, we are just like every other business in America, every other family in the world, every other thing that happens. There are days when I walk in the door and I'm like, good morning. And everybody's like, oh, there are days you're like, Timmy, or hey, I didn't sleep last night. I'm not feeling my best self. We have those days, right? We have those days. But when we come into the day with the intentionality set, our step one is setting the intention for the day. Because every day you get up, like I talked about last week, right? You could be having the very worst, most no good, terrible, very bad day. And in a moment, everything in the future is blank. That book got written. You have the pen. You can wake up and you can decide. I always say we choose violence or choose. Yeah, you can choose violence or you can choose to have a good day. Because here's the thing. On either of those days, you can't control what the world throws at you, but you can control how you react to it. It could be a no good, terrible, very bad day. There are people right now that we're going to hold space for. We've got Heather. We've got some other people dealing with some. We want to hold space for Selena. I'm not sharing her personal business, but she has some family medical emergency situations she's dealing with right now. And she can use a lot of love and light. There's a lot of stuff going on that she just needs a lot of love sent her way. Heather has some stuff going on, needs some love sent her way. I'm sure so many of you out there need some love sent your way, right? Oh, thank you, Heather. But we're going to send that love and light out to you, right? And, I'm in talking with Heather, and all of these days that the world has thrown these days at her, she's never been unkind. She's like, it's been a tough day for me emotionally and spiritually. I've been journaling. She remembered to get into her, her basics, taking her breaths, keeping herself grounded, the spiritual work that you do from the holistic approach for anxiety, right? The thing we do for the Reiki-based bakery, reminding you to get your feet in the dirt, take a deep breath, ground yourself, journal. Um, but it's about setting the intention. It's about holding that space and putting that magical force out there to say, I'm going today to put my energy bubble on. And I know that the world might throw some crazy things at me, but I have the ability to remain kind and to remain grounded in my space to be able to handle it, right? Heather says the love and good intentions that come out of that building in your truck filled me so full when I was there for Harvest Fest. It has carried me through the hard days. When it's been hard, I can reach into that abundance and make it through. Y'all are so well. You're wonderful, Heather, and you don't have any idea. You really are an important part of keeping our cup full. Just from you being there for the community. It's not just us; it's everyone in the community. Um, we do our best to do that with everything, but even with like the with all of our recipes, right? All of our recipes have specific ingredients and things that we kind of dash in for specific reasons, right? Certain things, cinnamon is for, abundance and protection. And then I put pepper in things that does not go in baked goods because I'm like, this person for specific reason, I'm like, somebody who ordered this needs a little extra protection right now. Let me put a pop of cayenne in that, just a pop in there with the intentionality of that, right? Um, because not just as the ingredients are the magic, is the magic that we put into it. But sometimes the magic that's not ingredients tells you what ingredient to put into it, if that makes sense. When we do intuitive cooking, I'm like, I've even had Grace ask me before, she's like, this needs this. I'm like, if you think it needs it, then you put it in there because that is your intuition telling you that this thing needs that thing for a reason. And it's normally for a specific customer. And I'm going to tell you a little funny story. It's like every time that I get that inkling in my head or in my intuitive gut when I'm doing a recipe, and it's like a new batch or maybe like a 10th batch, when I make that batch and I had that like, I have not put this in here before, but for some reason I need to put an extra dash of vanilla, or I've never done this before, but I need to put this in here. It never fails that there is usually a brand new customer, a brand new client who will message me from that specific batch and tell me a story about how they found us, how that recipe called them to us, like they saw the picture of that food, how when they got it, it's always one of those situations where, okay, that's why we did it. And the universe has been really kind to me by giving me that affirmation to continue to follow my gut. Because the first time I did it, I got a message from someone. It's like, the brownies. And I was like, oh no, I did something, they're going to be mad. And I was like, okay. So when I added that cayenne to those, that was a good thing. And then it happened like 2 more times behind that on the other side of the house. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, so when I get that, I need to listen to it. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to do today. It's getting back to basics. And I guess that's what today was all about. Like me telling the story from how, I saw a need and I wanted to solve a problem in the community. And a lot of times when we're having our conversations here with Hometown Hippie or with Grateful Fed or with Sugar Magnolia, when people have ideas, the thing that I'll ask is, I'm like, I like your idea. And, if I'm not understanding why we would be doing it, just, I think it's a great idea, but I'm understanding how it fits in our business model. Sorry, I got like stuff on me. And I was like, what problem is that going to solve for our customer? Like, why, how do I market that to my customer or my client? Like, what are we doing to make their life better with that? Is it just a purely gimmicky kind of thing that you want to do? Or what is the real purpose of it? And I think that is what sets us apart from a lot of other businesses, because we're out here. Like, I appreciate the fact that we make a living doing this. But I also appreciate the fact that I'm grateful for the fact that no matter what you purchase from me, that you work for your money. And it is my privilege to be able to serve you because you're spending your hard-earned money on the things that we create. And that means like, you have no idea what that means to me. So I feel like it's a privilege every time someone shops with us. So I always want to make sure that whatever the product is, whether it's a Nurge rope or a wedding cake, that it is to your highest and best. And so when we come up with these new ideas, it is always like, what is the reason? What is the why? what are we doing for them? Like, what is it? And sometimes they'll say, it's just because I think it's delicious and cute and they'll love it. And I'm like, that's fine, but that's what we're going to put out there. That's how we're marketing this. And this is fun. This is for this reason. Because, a lot of what we do is really trying to teach you how to be prepared for when the people are plowing under green beans again and the supply chain breaks down. Not that I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I also see how the world is going. And I believe very much that if a lot of us got back to growing our own green beans, that we wouldn't have some of the problems that we have in our world today. But that's neither here nor there. But today is about getting back to basics. And it's about, like Heather said, right here, right? If you're struggling to do the things like journaling and grounding, they work. This is the first time I have had something major happen that I didn't feel like I was going to fall off the mountain. It really works. It's a lifestyle change. Grab it and run. And that's, it's a good point that Heather makes, because y'all are aware Heather's mother had a stroke, and she's getting a lot of, having to relearn and do things and all the things. And Heather has been there for her mom and is already a caregiver to other family members. So again, the world did not stop coming at Heather. Heather does all of those things. She picks up the wood and she cuts it up and does, she does the shadow work. She does the grounding. She does the journaling. And because of that, it's not that means that now you're an ascended master. It just means that you are able to handle the things that the universe of the life is going to throw at you. Part of the human experience is family emergencies and medical emergencies and loss and joy and flat tires and kids getting in fights at school and babysitters calling out sick and losing jobs and hitting the lottery. All of those gambit of emotions, nothing is going to stop happening. Just because I pay it forward and I'm, whatever I do on that level of, being nice and kind to people and philanthropic, mean that, I don't have, nothing bad happens to me. That's not how that works. It's not it's not like a barter system. Like, I do good, you do good. Your karma in the world is good and you can resolve karma, but it's not that that the worldly things that, the human experience things don't happen. I had somebody say one day, I was like really struggling, like, oh, I thought you were love and light. How come that shit's bothering you? I'm like, I'm a human. I'm a human. I'm like, and I, I'd had my training or my practice and my, ability to go outside and get my feet in the dirt and get this out of my head and on a journal. The amount of time it would take me to process and to move through and to handle these situations would be extended, or I'd do it in a piss poor kind of way, make bad choices. It doesn't mean that the world's not going to stop happening. But it means that if you are getting into your basics, like she said, journaling, grounding, affirmations, just morning affirmations. Yeah, it's not easy. I just cry less and recover faster, right? Things still happen. It's how you react that's key. And that's what it's all about, right? It's like you can't control what happens, but you can control how you react to the thing that happens to you, right? And that's what today's about, getting back to the basics, I guess. I did not realize that. And that's what I did Friday. It's like, okay, when I worked out of the house, I felt like the vibe was always good. And I was like, well, it's because I said, I can control everything here because it's my house. Like, there's no outside people, all this weird stuff. Oh, you're such a sweetheart. Norma Jean, it's a privilege for me to have you as a friend. Thank you for all that you do for our community, your friends and family, Rock Woman. I appreciate that. We appreciate everybody being friends with everybody here. Everybody, right? We need all that energy. But it is about, like I said, getting into those basic things that help you to process through the things that are happening to you. Somebody said, I don't know, ain't nothing wrong with being being the basic bitch. What is that?
Who said that?
Heather. I don't know.
Heather, you are the
You're the least basic
ever.
Yeah. So it's just being basic, being the basics. Yeah, getting back to being the basic bitch. I get it now. Being the basic. That's funny as shit. Thank you, Heather. It made me laugh. And then I want you all to do this. Like that made me laugh. And one of the things that I'm going to say is this: find the thing that brings you joy. When you're struggling, if you're really struggling and having a really tough, rough time, I know that it's hard to like be in a situation where you have someone who's like really like struggling and they're feeling bad. It was me. Facebook flagged me. I had to delete it. That's crazy. Sorry, I got off topic. You're having, when you're dealing with something like, maybe like, for example, Heather's mom is sick. It's hard for her to go like to a stand-up comedy show on a Tuesday night while she's at the hospital. I need to go find my joy. I'm not saying that, right? But I'm saying that if you are struggling and maybe you're like overwhelmed at home, overwhelmed at work, even if you are overwhelmed with family drama, family health things, that's not that really drama, something they can't control. But you know what I'm saying, like that kind of stuff. Take a moment and take a time out for you, because this is the most basic thing I can say to you. The very first thing that I ever came on Facebook talking about in all of these lives that started during all these years was people who were really burnt out during the pandemic, is that you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you are running on empty, you can, and self-care is not selfish. So getting back to basics, it's really about getting back to taking care of you and knowing that you have to charge up your battery. If you run a lighthouse, you have to keep the battery charged to keep the light so that the ships don't hit the shore. So if you're trying to make sure the ships aren't hitting the shore in your life, you have to make sure that your battery's full so that they can see, you can beam out light. So when you think about being a mom or being a daughter or being a father or a brother or a sister, a spouse, a friend, you can't be the best version of that without being the best version of you. So know that taking care of yourself and being a basic bitch, right? Grounding and breathing and affirmations and drinking good water and getting some walks and some sunshine and doing the things, those little million micro moves for that self, just taking care of yourself, is imperative to being able to handle the things that are thrown at you in the world. So when I say million micro moves, like you're talking, I can't do, it's too much work. It starts with drinking some water, stretching out, getting good sleep. Those little things are self-care. Those little things are how you fill your battery up, right? And then maybe it is going and getting a massage, or going and taking a hike through nature, or sitting by the water somewhere, or maybe it is going and hearing a stand-up comedian, or spending time with someone who makes your heart feel big, right? Whatever it looks like for you, it's important to do that. And remembering that you wake up in the morning, just like I did Friday, about setting that intentionality of the space that we were going to hold. And all day long, I imagined in my mind, when I manifested Saturday, I'm like, it's going to be beautiful crowds. It's going to be beautiful weather. I could see it. I could smell it. I could taste it. I imagined myself in that place. I imagined Amy and Colin Liz laughing in the food truck and having some fun jokes that they went around with that came out of the weekend. There's always a joke that comes out of our weekends that are busy. I don't know if the food truck has any like this time, but I can guarantee you that the catering staff does, because Zach thought that Sarah Watts, she works with us on the weekends. He called her Angie all day long on Saturday. And so at the end of the day, she said, I have an aunt named Angie. My grandma has dementia, so she calls me everything. I'm so used to being called the wrong name, I didn't even pay attention to it. She says, but at the end of the day, she's like, my name is Sarah. I'm like, I'm so sorry. So then in our group chat, it was Angie, who does work with us. It's my cousin. Her birthday was yesterday, so we were all telling her happy birthday. And Zach goes, happy birthday, Angie, not the fake one though. And Angie goes, who's this fake Angie? I want to meet that bitch. It was so funny. So there's always a fun joke. So now Sarah Watts will always be fake Angie as her nickname. That's all she is.
Let's trace her details.
Yeah, they're Let's Trace Her Details, the Three Little Pigs.
T-shirts.
Not the Three Little Pigs. Oh, that's funny.
Liz wants to be the Three Little Birds. I'm not a bird.
Three Little Birds. No, but pigs like a barbecue truck.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
I like to eat. I'm a pig.
Stop.
How do you say magnolia in
The
Spanish?
three little gurus. Trace gurus.
Those taste gurus.
Those trace gurus, right? So we have a good time, but that raises my vibration. Being able to laugh and have fun and all of that raises the vibration. But what it all started with was the basics of me grounding myself, getting my feet down and saying, I am manifesting the most perfect day for everyone involved. And I brought everyone in on that dream. I'm like, we're gonna all manifest perfect pace, perfect weather, perfect crowds, perfect food, perfect abundance, right? So if you need to do that, I want you all to hold Heather's mom in perfect healing. I want you to hold anybody out there who needs the perfect career in the most well thought out, perfect place for them where their needs are met, they have work-life balance, whatever the need is for them. So whenever you're looking at that, it all starts with that intentionality. It all starts with getting back to basics, pouring into yourself, because you're going to do that first before you can see any of this. If you're struggling, if you don't find a moment to clear your head and to take a breath and to get yourself straight, you're not going to know how to do any of this because you're just going to be in that place, right? We all know that place, that nothing's going to suit me place. So once you get yourself grounded, take that deep breath, right? If you can't get your feet in the dirt, put your hands like this, take your two middle fingers and bring them down. You're going to instantly feel weighted to the planet. See how that controls and keeps your and gets you back into your thing. So I'm going to ask you to try that today as we take our deep breaths. Good morning, Amy. So if you're struggling today, you're out there, or maybe not even struggling, maybe there's just so much going on that you can't get your arms around. If you're overwhelmed today, we're going to get to the basics. We're going to take some deep breaths in through our nose. You're going to hold these two middle fingers down. That's going to allow you to feel grounded and anchored. If you can put your bare feet onto the ground, at least onto like wood or something, do that. Take some more deep breaths in through your nose. Drawing in that good cleansing breath. And then out through your mouth. Take a few more of those, allowing that deep breath in to just cleanse and grab onto anything that's overwhelming you or making you anxious, or it's just not meant to be there, that's got you in a tizzy. And on that exhale, I want you to like feel it kind of exhaling with that air, like just you're inhaling that good air and you're exhaling that bullshit, right? Inhale the good shit, exhale the bullshit. And then I want you to settle in your northern breathing pattern. And whatever that thing was that was real big and that you were really in a tizzy about, I want you to know that in the grand scheme of things, it is like the hair on a flea, on a tick, on a dog, on a rat, on a cat, whatever, right? It is that minuscule in the grand scheme of things. If you can't see the way through, we're going to focus on the next positive step and know that no matter what happens, it's exactly what the universe intended. And it's exactly the right thing that's supposed to happen in the grand scheme of things. It might not look like it today. It might not look like it next week. It might look like it in a year. But in 10 years from now, maybe even 2 days from now, who knows? You're going to say, wow, had that not happened, this wouldn't have happened. And I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Every time I think about losing that job at the insurance company Selective, it took me a long time to understand why that happened and all the things that happened in the subsequent years following that. And in that moment, I didn't have any way. I was going to lose everything. I had lost my job. I knew today that had that not happened, I would have never had the courage to leave that big girl job making that big girl money. And the universe was like, I'm going to kick you off the cliff. I wish I would have had the spiritual training to handle it a little bit better, but it was a precipice for a big change. So maybe if you're in the middle of that life's drama, know that it's not the setback, it's the comeback. Let's focus on those breaths and knowing that this too shall pass. And I want you to concentrate on whatever it is you need to have an answer for today. And we're going to pull this crystal card. This is for the collective, whether you're watching it now or later. And we're going to say that it's going to answer the question, and it should resonate with everyone differently. Take what you need and leave what you don't. But this is our weekly crystal card and affirmation. Calling in my angels, guides, and my helpers, asking them to come in and help me to be a clear and perfect channel for this work that I'm about to do and for this message I'm about to give. Fun. This card kind of felt like I didn't know what it was. I don't know that we pulled it before. It's Sunstone. It was a sunstone. It says, take pleasure in the things you do. Tell me that's not right on what we were talking about a second ago. Sunstone. Take pleasure in the things you do. I need some more. My coffee. This is my second coffee today. I may have had a caramel macchiato.
You're going to Starbucks this morning?
I went to McDonald's.
Oh, I was like, oh, I'm 100%.
I was not going to say. I was like, that's. I was like, let me go ahead and get this. Let me get this other coffee. Sunstone. Take pleasure in the things you do. Y'all see that stone? Don't just stop and smell the roses. Make yourself a bouquet. If you find yourself moving through your day on autopilot, force yourself to stop and take a moment to appreciate the beauty in your life. If you find you're always focused on what's next, allow yourself to appreciate the moment at hand. You can even put a reminder in your phone if needed. If you only get one life, allow yourself time to enjoy it. Do something that gives you a significant boost of energy and happiness. Something that fills your cup. Y'all, I can't make this shit up. Something that fills your cup and feeds your soul. Take delight in everything you do because it's those little pleasures that make life truly worth living. Core questions. What is the greatest pleasure in your life? What is a small joy you experience every day?
Coffee from Starbucks.
Amy says coffee from Starbucks.
It really is.
That's funny. I had a butterbeer from Big B's. It's all good.
Coffee from Starbucks is the jam.
Crystal affirmation this week. I have plenty of time. That's what I was talking to me. Time is an imaginary. I was like, I'm not on that timeline, so I tell people all the time. Time is a construct. I have plenty of time. Today, savor a small moment that you usually take for granted. This is weird. Such as a hot cup of coffee or exchanging smiles with a stranger.
I do that all the time.
So
that's why I don't get serial murdered.
That's why I don't get serial murdered. That's why I don't get sex trafficked. That's the only reason.
I make
why.
eye contact with everybody. And smile. I feel like I'm the joy in somebody's life every day.
I think I focus on trying to be the joy in somebody's life every day.
Because like maybe they're having like a really shitty
Yes,
day. And like I make eye contact with everyone and I'm like, nobody would want to hurt me because like I'm like, hi.
Exactly. I tell Redrick, like, we stop being so nice. I was like, nobody will hurt me because I'm too nice to them. He was like, they're gonna kill you with a smile on your face.
That is Julie's genetics. And
Mom had us believing that if we were really nice to people, they would not hurt us. Also, I believe I probably could have been kidnapped if you would have wanted to do it. Because I truly believe my whole life I would never be kidnapped because I talk too much and I eat too much. So in the 80s, I'm sorry, I know we're off topic, but this is just making me laugh.
It is.
In the 80s, whenever all the kids were getting kidnapped, and the white kidnapped is what I used to call it. That's what I thought it was when I was a kid, was kid unnapped. I was like, they make you take naps? Come get me, I love a nap. But another Jolie genetic. Kid unnapped is what I thought it was.
That is DNA.
Because I asked Mom one time how to spell kidnapped. She says kid napped. She said she did it. You know, she would always phonetically. And I was like, Julia. She also said beef stroganoff was beef stroking.
All right, finish your story.
Anyway,
you are such a squirrel.
She used to tell me all the time she would leave us in the car to go in the grocery store because in the 80s, don't judge us. You just did that, y'all. If you're a new mom, don't judge mine. She left us in the car, like, you know.
Do anything.
To do they go to a park, like, you're in the car, just lock the doors, you'll be fine. Like,
we fall everywhere.
Yeah. Well, we were fighting in the car, she doesn't have to be around it. But I was like, Mom, you can't leave us out here. We will get kidnapped. And she said, they ain't gonna keep you long, they'll bring you right back because you eat too much and you fight, which you eat too much and you talk too much. So I was convinced that I would never get stolen. And if I did, And here's the thing, I feel I would have been killed quickly because I had already had like a plan to like tell them a story like this
Yes.
and to go off on tangents and then to ask constantly for food.
No, absolutely. So Derek,
So
I used to tell Derek that like when we lived in the city, I mean, we lived in big cities, and he would be like, lock the doors, like he like
yeah.
he would give me like a safety talk, and I'd be like, nobody will ever hurt me. I am so nice. Like I have all these karma points built up.
Remember that.
I make eye contact with everybody. I smile at people. Like, how could you ever hurt or stab or mug somebody that's nice like me? And he'd be like, "You're such an idiot."
Yeah, Elizabeth says she's the same way as you, and Heather says that they won't keep me. I'm too spicy. Well, I hope that none of us get got. If we do, you have your exit plan. I know that I'm going to eat a lot and talk a lot. I'm blah, 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 blah. So,
oh, girl, I'm also a fighter. I don't kick like
no,
that.
I'm just gonna.
Make
I don't
a whole
fight.
scene.
I'm just gonna talk a lot and eat a lot. And apparently, with this 2 cups of coffee, I feel like the second cup of coffee just kicked in, and I'm like, I need to go. I'm real speedy right now. Like I'm feeling real caffeine, like a little like jittery speedy. Woo! I was like, my heart is racing. I cannot do 2 cups of real coffee like Starbucks. But that is our Sunday sermon for today.
I love being with you all.
She is so happy to be here as our special guest today on Sunday sermon. Big news. We got good internet at the house. My Starlink got here yesterday. Red is working getting that installed today. Yay. And then I am meeting somebody on Monday to help me get my house in order. And so I will start doing lives on Wednesday nights from my house. And Sunday mornings, I can do it from my house. So I don't have to like come in because I'll have good internet again. So we're going to work on getting my office set back up at home. So you'll be seeing me from a new location because I will have some good internet. I have got to be here in the dark. But if you do follow us locally and you are going to come by and eat with us, we have a new winter schedule. We are now officially done with our offsite events for the year. We have Thanksgiving coming. We have Christmas and holiday parties and weddings coming up. So we're going to keep the Sugar Magnolia right here unless they end up taking her down to the brewery a couple of Saturday nights or whatever. But as far as our regular schedule, the Sugar Magnolia will be here at the shop back open for breakfast, open through lunch, and our early dinner. We'll be closing at 4 every day, Tuesday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. And we're going to be here Saturdays, 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. So we're going to get off of here. As Heather said, we're going to end our lives like we always do. I'm going to do some banner changing over here. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I want to let you know that we will be back Wednesday night. We have 2 great nights of take-home meals on tap this week. Tuesday is chicken stir-fry with miso soup, and it's over rice with miso soup and a dessert. And then on Wednesday, we have a fan favorite of our pork roulade with our apple walnut sage dressing center, with our wild rice and stuffing side with Brussels sprouts, a cherry pan sauce, dinner rolls, and a dessert. Tuesday and Wednesday are both available for delivery within 8 miles. We have free delivery now going around town. So make sure that you give us a try this week if you haven't done so already. Breakfast all day, delicious food. Let us take the hard work out of homemade for you. We also have Thanksgiving catering. The last day for pre-orders on that is going to be the 17th. So this Friday will be the last day to get that pre-ordered. And as Heather has told me here, when we end these lives, we always end them with a bang. And we always say a little peace, a little love, and a little feast. And as always, y'all stay elevated. I love you and have a great day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.